Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're on Project Cars 2 for PlayStation with round 2 of the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship. And for round 2 we're at Ruapuna Park in GP. For the session details tonight, we've got 2 races. First session, we're heading over into 15 minutes of practice. Weather is heavy cloud. Qualifying is 15 minutes. Weather is also heavy cloud. And then the sprint race is 13 laps. Weather is overcast with no mandatory pit. I'll have about a 9-minute break and head into session 2, where we'll have 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather is heavy cloud, and the main race is 26 laps. Weather will progress from heavy cloud through to clear, and there is a mandatory pit requirement. Last week, after the first round, we have Sami leading the championship on 250 points. Filiminilli not too far behind on 204, and it's pretty close for the rest of the spots, with DK Rush, Corby, and Gallen all sitting very tight. Last week, we had the opening round at Watkins Glen International Short, and we had Sami take a clean sweep in the first race, taking pole victory and fastest lap, and then yet again in the main race. So showing some good form to get a great lead into the second round. So we'll jump over and check out the track now. So of course we are in New Zealand. Game session time is 9 AM. Track length is 3.28 kilometres, and there are 12 turns. And it is quite a tricky little track for the V8 Supercars, as the track is very flat and it is very easy to slip the rear out. But the drivers have been out there getting a lot of very quick times still, so they're seeming to be quite on par with each other. We're going to see some very tight racing with 16 drivers out on the track. Cliff, first one to eagerly get out on the track. Hey Dirty, thanks for joining us. Championship leader Sami now out on track. If you are joining us to the stream, don't forget to jump in, say hello, let us know who you're here to cheer on. And if you are only just coming across Apex Esports League, we go live with Project Cars 2 on Thursday night, 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and iRacing on Monday nights at the same time. So do hit that follow button. And of course, our social media links down below is where you can find all information for results, standings, and incident reports, so you can see how your favourite drivers are doing in the championships. And there's the YouTube link, bit.ly/ApexESL. That is case sensitive for that link to actually work. And that takes you to our YouTube channel where all our past broadcasts are actually kept. So we only get to keep them on Twitch for a couple of weeks and then they disappear. And below the stream there is a bunch of sound effects controls. You can play some fun sound effects over the stream. So that way you can applaud, cheer, boo, and other fun sounds. So do have some fun playing around with that. And I did jump on the track with a few of the drivers the other night, cutting in some laps, and there was some phenomenal lap times being set, seeing in the 1:14s. And I think average race pace is going to be about 1:16. Oh, we've had a disconnect already. DK Rush disconnecting. We have Demon Effects. Didn't get to make it in last week. We had quite a lengthy list of drivers all sign up for the series. We did have about 6 or 7 drivers on reserve waiting for it. And then a couple unable to make it last week, seeing those reserves get in. So a little bit of list has changed. And missing on track from last week is Dirty Monkey, but he is joining us on the stream to watch it at least. He's there to cheer on his fellow members out on the track. We had Dan PS Man debut with us last week. So all new to it and having not too bad of a run for his first race. Qualified in 16th, ended up taking 12th position. Qualifying in 15th for the main race and 14th place in the finish. That is seeing him sitting at 15th in the championship standings. Just behind him is Doggy Daddy. And DK has rejoined back in. Opening times, quickest so far, 1:17.556 set by Gallon 350. A little bit short on that corner, lifting that car up. Some of these curbs around Sector 2 are actually quite raised. We'll actually potentially put the car into a spin by hitting them. Here we go, look at our championship leader Sami already coming in with a 1:16 for his first time. A little bit of lag showing, looks like he was about to run wide off through turn 1. We will make our way down through the list so we can familiarise ourselves with all the liveries for the drivers. Just as we get accustomed to them, it's usually the end of the series and then we start afresh with all new paints. Gallon and Philly in with 1:17s. Marky Mark also in with a 1:17. Mark having some bad luck at the Glen last week. And quite a spectacular crash that occurred for him when reviewing, which was rather strange. Looked like some invisible wall lag moments that we've seen on the rare occasion where the car basically just flipped and rolled over essentially nothing mid-track. So very strange. And then of course that put him on his roof and then he took a fair bit of damage, costing him positions in the long run. Hopefully it's not too much of dramas for him tonight. And we did see, initially we didn't know if we had to see someone retire out. I believe it was Doggy Daddy. He did actually suffer a disqualification in the main race, and that's where the big points were at. And that was early on, I think it was around lap 12. And we thought it may have been some sort of glitch that occurred. However, it was actually speeding in the pits that did it. So it was about 85 kilometres going down through pit lane for most of it. And it stings you pretty quick just for going a few kilometres over on entry. So to continue down pit lane, it'll start throwing time penalties at you until it reaches a point that it does a DQ. So very unfortunate. Hopefully Doggy Daddy's all set with his pit limiter button tonight. It's an easy one to forget. We saw a fair few grid place penalties being given as well in the qualifying last week. It is too easy to forget. You hit that button and off you go, and then only a little bit over and that grid place penalty gets stung to you. A little bit of lag showing for Cool Boy. He's skipping around. He's coming through for a very tidy time. He's in the top 6. That's a lot of lag going on for him. Looks like he made ball contact there. Hopefully he doesn't suffer any disconnects. He did occur a disconnect in his session last week. Occurred in the qualifying and he managed to just get back in within the last 5 minutes of the session, I do remember. But boy, has been doing a fair bit of practice in preparation for tonight. He's set to try and get a very good position in the race. He's been coming along very quickly, getting some good lap times and some good finish positions. Corby's come up here with a 116. Sami also with a 115. A little bit slippery around corner 2 for Corby. There's a DK rush. Hopefully no more disconnects for him. Same slippery spot as Corby. Those cooler track temps not looking too good. Actually, no, that was actually the following corner. That's going down along the back straight. We'll jump on board for a lap with someone in a moment. See just about where Sami is. Won't be too far off. Step 991. Currently landed at 129. Head Farmer's in with a 122. Doggy Daddy in with 121. Balaki a 120. Then we have Simo, Mick, T-Rex and Coolboy in... Sorry, just T-Rex in 119s, and then we're down to the 118s. Farmy's in the midfield. Keep making our way through and make sure we've covered everyone. Philly will have his sights on ensuring to get some good positions tonight. He's trailing by 46 points, that clean sweep being a great advantage for Sami. It's on board with Sami through turn 1 and 2. Right out onto that curb, there's a little bit of traffic. I think that's Steph. It's going to be right on the hairpin. Ooh, a little bit out wide, but I think that was... No, sorry, it's not the hairpin yet. Approaching hairpin now. So down that back straight. Get some lag, skipping that car around a bit. Very tricky in the next few corners on the S's. Getting that line perfect, can see just mostly throttle work going through. You won't need to be braking. It's a very long hairpin. Getting that run on that corner exit, very important to carry a lot of speed through this corner. Hitting that curb, you can take a fair bit of curb, same as here. Right out on that exit curb so you can get that good run-off speed on approach into the final corner. Oh, a lot of lag. It's quite significant. A lot of run-off using the full length of that corner. Catch over to him as he was approaching. So this first turn catches a lot of drivers out. We usually see them go off into the right there, and this is where we're seeing everyone start to get a little bit slippery as they put the boot down here. Then also at this curb, you actually drop the tyre almost off the dirt. If you go too far out here on that exit curb, it will actually give you a slow down request. They're just in one of the practice races, jumping on board with the guys for some driving the other night, copping some slowdown penalties very easily just from that back straight. So far there's only 7.5 seconds separating 16 cars out on track. Sami setting some very good pace, a good .865 ahead from position 2. Oh no, it's DK's just snuck in between. Hey, he's waving. Ah, yeah, that would have been too. I think that was the first time we did actually run the V8s. those who can't see chat, Stephen Banks, you would see from our iRacing, used to race with us on Project Cars 2 first off. And he did jump in for one of our Beyond Blue special events. That's Weaven 777. He's in the chat saying that this was the first track he did with Apex eSports League on Project Cars 2. Getting some very tight times. Only 3.3 seconds separating 11 cars. Really sliding that tail out. Ed Farmer tucking in right behind Steph. Steph moves off track to let him through. Like a little bit of a lag skip off to the side. And with Project Cars, some of the smaller tracks where they are more congested tend to show a little bit more lags. Hopefully no lag incidents or disconnects, as it puts a little bit more load on everyone's consoles' internet connections, especially with 16 cars, where those bigger tracks, once we start seeing the cars much more spaced out apart, so as you can see as we ring up the map, they are essentially weaving in, out and around. And when we did use this track for the no rules race, there was lots of opportunities to be able to just drive off through the middle of the paddock and cut the corners. That was quite a lot of fun seeing them do that. And then we have practice complete, last laps now. We'll have enough time to actually wrap this up. There's a minute and a half left to go to get these final laps done. Hey Killer, thanks for joining us. That's alright, mate. We have Mr. Ware on track as well for a couple of weeks. Him having some issues connecting to PlayStation Network, disconnecting just at the end when we were sending off the reserve invites. Can't even hear the burnout noise. The audio's actually gone. There we go. Balaki choosing to do a nice burnout for us. Quite interesting, we lose the audio once we cross over there. Demon coming on to finish up his last lap. It'll be 26 seconds to do so. It's looking like a very promising qualifying session. And as you can see, where Demon's heading off into pit lane, it is actually a very deceptive pit lane entrance. It does trick a lot of drivers, and it's quite a sharp turn to get in there. We have seen cars get stuck and congest the entrance. It has caused dramas before. So that will definitely play coming into the main race with the mandatory pit requirement. And then we have free practice done for round 2. Sami setting the quickest time, a 1:15.360. So can he replicate that as we head over into the qualifying session? So drivers have now got 15 minutes. Get their qualifying times in. There are points up for grabs. 25 championship points available for taking pole. Sami to further the lead for the championship. Qualifying as close to the top as he can will mean all the difference. And then for Philly, who's trailing by not too many points, he's going to have to try and make up for some strong qualifying positions as well as finishing quite strongly and as close to Sami, or at least ahead of Sami as much as possible. But especially so in the main race, that's where the big points are at. For race 1, there is 60 points for a win. Otherwise, there is 120 points up for grabs for the main race. Oh, a little bit of contact between Simo Simsel and I think that may be Marky Mark. Two of them already finding each other's doors on the out lap of qualifying. Going to be a very interesting first lap. It is a very tricky first sector with 16 cars. They come in very quick. And those track temps are going to be still quite cool. Game session time has now started at 10 AM. It's still heavy cloud conditions. And the race will be starting at 11 AM. However, the weather will be overcast. So it's likely we'll see similar track temps to that of the qualifying session. So we should see similar race pace most likely. Yeah, Dirty, next week we're at Long Beach Street Circuit. The sprint race is at daytime, however the main race is under lights. That track is absolutely beautiful in night conditions. And we did just have Long Beach Street Circuit on Monday night for our Pagnian Imports Super 2 series on iRacing. However, that did not go under lights. The game does not have night lighting available. When the cars don't have headlights, it makes it a big issue. So essentially you see a black screen. Where these cars do have headlights and there is a lot of night lighting and a lot of ambient lighting as well. And it's spectacular. Gallon straight up with a 1:16. That's a pretty good opening time. Locks that back left as he comes down through the first corner. Here's some big pops as the drivers are downshifting, playing shooting out, using all that engine braking. These cars can be a real beast to try and pull up. Brake bias is heavily important, and to be well adjusted with engine braking at the same time so as to not to lock these things up, especially at Ruapuna. It's just how flat this track is. It is very easy once you lock that car up and start diving through the corner. You're most likely going to end up in a spin. Ooh, Philly rubs side to side. I'm not sure if that was with Gallon or if that was Simo Simsel. I think it was Simo. You know, copping the brunt of exchanging a fair bit of paint in these first couple of laps of qualifying. And for our Kiwi drivers, they would be rather excited to be there. The guys mentioning that we needed to play the New Zealand anthem for them at the start of the race. Yeah, that's right, Killer. It will look great on the stream. We have done it before under lights for the V8s. I think we've done it in a couple other classes as well. Long Beach is one of my favourite tracks. Oh, we got someone up on their side. I think it was Demon Effects. Got it up on two wheels. That's as I was mentioning in the practice session, hitting those curbs can really lift this car up. It becomes very dangerous, especially around that first hairpin. Getting up on that curb will actually roll the car quite easily. Gallon lands a 1:15 and brings the car in. There's 9.5 minutes remaining of qualifying. Sami being the only driver in practice to get down to that pace. Then Gallon come in pretty quickly with a 1:15. Well, we're going to try and get Simo to actually sing the anthem, Killer. I don't think he was too keen. Marky Mark currently qualifying in 6th. Billy Millie currently qualifying in 7th. If he's looking to try and chase down the lead for the championship, he's going to need to try and move himself up on that standings board for qualifying a few more spots. You know, just gone off track with his car's actually just crab walked across, and then car's well and truly crooked. You can see it's actually quite difficult getting out of the pit stalls. I did find out when I was in there the other day, you actually have to drive just about out, and the length of the FG Falcon basically scraping the pit wall as you turn out of the stall. And it's very deceptive when you're in the cockpit view, when you think you can essentially just turn out of that stall. Mick doing well, qualifying in 4th position. Sami has stolen back that pole position. There's not much between it. There's 6.5 minutes remaining, so we're only just halfway through the session. Gallen improve on his time. He's only 0.075, not even a tenth away. That is super tight. And pole position 1.2 seconds away from 3rd. They're putting huge pace. Does Demon improve that lap? Does improve the time. That was good. 6 tenths quicker that lap around. Not enough to move up a position. We saw about 7.5 seconds separating the grid in practice. It's now down to 7.2. And Dan did have a little bit more pace in the practice sessions, having a little bit more bad luck in the qualifying, but not overly off the pace too much. Step in with 121. Starting to see a little bit less lag going on. Still a fair bit showing for Coolboy. Suffering a disconnect at this point in the qualifying session, will probably seem not be able to make the start of the race. I do know Coolboy is looking to try and do some spotting and engineer work with some apps. Friend helping out using some telemetry with him. That could very well be affecting his network quality. Yeah, that's quite drastic. Hopefully it starts to smooth up a little bit more. Otherwise, it could make things very interesting, especially coming down into turns 1 and 2 at the start of the race. Supercar skipping around as much as that. We'll actually send him a message and let him know that he has actually got some issues showing. hate to see incident caused as a result of lag interference like that. It'd be a devastating start to the race. Oh yeah, they get commentators curse. Who are we going to jump on? Had a heap of bad luck on Monday night. Even causing dramas for professional Super 2 driver Brock Feeney. Seeing him put it in the wall after jumping on board. And then every other car we did jump on. Oh, Corby's just snuck in for a quick lap. He's on board for first laps there in turn 1. Into turn 2. Oh, we've done it. Instantly on board caused the problem. That's like they know. I don't know if maybe, I know a lot of the drivers do actually sit there and have the stream running alongside them. I don't know if they glance over and notice that it's actually them, and they're probably seeing a little bit of a delay. There's probably a couple of seconds delay in the stream. We're going to see Philly spin out in the same spot. Corby, no. Haven't done him in here. Nice line down that back straight. Oh no, we've made him spin through the hairpin. That extra camera weight. He hasn't taken any damage, and it's not worth bringing the car into the pits, as he won't get another time lap in. He just needs to spend the time on this lap. Get some extra temp into those tyres. The car will be nice and light, and he's going to have at least one good solid lap. He needs to try and get as close to Sami as he can. He only has to take about a tenth off, and that'll see him start from position 3. Witch's hat out in the track. Not sure if that was also on the stream. You notice that debris is actually scattered a little bit more. .2 seconds separating the drivers so far. And it's good seeing a lot of times grouped together. There's going to be a lot of battles throughout the field. And we have 119s, 122s from position 12 through to 16. And only 1 second difference between our first 7 and positions 8 through to position 12. Ooh, Marky Mark feeling just how hard it is on that curb, lifting that car up. Gonna have him done fully slap. Oh, and he's just spun out into another car. I'm not sure who that is. That's Demon Effects. I think that may be T-Rex. That's absolutely destroyed his car. There is not much left to it. That's it for him for qualifying. At least it wasn't jumping on board that caused that issue. I would have felt rather bad for that one. Dylan's going to do a burnout across the start line. Is he? He's right across the line, a little bit too soon. I don't know where he's going. Oh, he's going to do the jump. There is actually a nice jump going for there. I'm pretty sure I can hear Balaki doing a burnout. That's Balaki in front there. Billy Manilli, this is his hot lap. Oh, a little bit slippery. Oh, slippery again. He's messed that up. Oh, gets the car airborne. The guys are just having a little bit of pre-race fun now. DK Rush, oh, he mustn't have been doing well for that lap. Starting to bring that car in. I don't believe, no, that's first hairpin. He won't have time to conclude that lap. Gallen and Balaki ripping up the infield, using what's left of their qualifying tyres. These two always good for a little bit of pre-race entertainment for the fans. There we are, qualifying is complete. So that is qualifying for race 1 of round 2 of the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship. Our championship leader, Sami, takes another pole position. That's a good streak of poles. That's a great start to the championship. Gallen 350, not far away, setting only 0.075 away from Sami's time, so that is super tight. We then have Corby, Philly, Demon Effects, DK, Marky Mark, Mickcliff, Simo Simsel, T-Rex, Coolboy, Head Farmer, Balaki, Doggy Daddy, Steph, and Dan PS. And there's only 7.2 seconds separating all the drivers. That is fantastic to see. So over to the grid now as we get ready for the race. Game session time is now 11 a.m. There's less sun shining through now as the weather has progressed to overcast conditions. You can see Sami's going to have to get a very good start here, as he's going to be offline for turn 1. He's only just a smidgen ahead from Gallen. The Gallen on the racing line for the start. So a fantastic getaway here. We'll see him dominate track position early on. And there's not too much issue of having to brake, as they're not getting up to full race speed as they do from coming in on a hot lap. The tyres are nice and hot, ready for the start of the race. Dan and Steph on that back section with lots of opportunity to try and weave their way through the pack still. Usually see a fair few positions move Ruapuna. There is a lot of space on the track. As you can see, you can at least get nearly 5 cars wide. Pretty tight. Try and get a good angle. See start of this race. Gallen rolling back a little bit. Spooling that tyre up. Sami's edging forward. Gallen really gets away. Look at him just pull away from the rest of the field. He's almost side by side with Sami, but Sami's going to have to yield that position to him. Oh, a little bit of touch. He's bumped him. It's been a spin down the back. I think Mark's been turned around. Not sure if that was some rear contact or if he was already in a slide. But it almost happened to our race leaders. And even Corby right on the tail of Sami. There's a little bit of rubbing coming through that next corner. These guys showing business straight off the mark. Look, Gallen pulling away. He's already got 0.7 over Sami. Sami even getting a little bit of a jump start. He would have been very close to almost having a false start, requiring a drive-through penalty. He was really pushing those limits. Oh, Gallen runs off wide, but I think that's lag. We're probably going to see a few little lag sync-ups on this first couple of laps as the game just gets accustomed to all the drivers' positions, especially when they're all so close together. And once the track starts to cleanse out a little bit, it'll probably ease up just a tad. Coolboy seems to have taken some damage. Doesn't look like he is lagging anymore. Oh, Gallen runs wide. turn one. That's going to cost him some time. Sami's going to now put some big pressure down through the back straight. Ooh, a bit of corner rubbing. Corby also gets up along the inside, owns that track position. Gets in well, nice and early in that braking zone. Gallen's a little slip, losing that speed, costing him 2 positions. And I think Gallen's copped a post-race time penalty from running wide on that corner. So he had the option to try and slow down as well, which is going to cost him very much, as this track makes you keep that pace slow for a very long time. And it is much better just to take that 1 second on this track. And he's only just copped the 1 second. Sami now puts the lead up to 0.7. Corby hanging on to catch up. Corby being on quite good attack on lap 2. But he's not able to close that gap down on Sami. He's going to pull away. Looks like Gallen is quickly catching back up. Cliff currently running in 6th position. Not too far up ahead is Philly Manilli. Say Killer shouldn't play ads midstream. It's supposed to only be pre-roll ads that it does. That's quite annoying. Preliminarily up in 5th position, starting to close down in on Demon Effects. He locks that back left as he comes through turn 1. Race leader Sami still pulling away. He's now furthered that lead by 1.5 seconds. A little bit slippery for Gallen. Not sure if that's also a result of some latency issues that we're seeing, or if maybe that rear is starting to be a little bit slippery. Car managed to really pull away quickly at the start, but seemed not to hold on too much now for the rest of the track. It could very well mean that track temps may be dropping down a little bit. This game does start them all off on optimal tyre temperatures. A little battle going on for 8th position. We have Coolboy, Balaki and the Head Farmer all sitting pretty tight. Balaki goes for an inside pass around the final corner. There's lots of lag skipping going along with Coolboy. That could be dangerous. They are very close. A lag skip here could see one of them end up in a very bad situation. Balaki's going to be carrying a lot of speed in the turn 1. He has to yield that position. However, Coolboy held on and ran himself off the corner. So he's now dropped down into 11th position. I think he may have actually made contact to that outside wall. Not heavy damage, it is only a tyre wall. Marky Mark looking to get around the Head Farmer. Managed to close that gap in while there's a little bit of battle going up ahead. Also focused on each other. Oh, I think that's McCliff, but may have just darted off towards the infield. Not sure what went on there. It looked like he was going straight, and then that car just spooled up. He's lost a position to DK. DK Rush now moving up into 6th position. Yeah, it could definitely be the case. 30th. With tyre wear around this track, it is very heavy. Just depending on their tyre strategy, whether they're opted for the softs or the hards. Track temperatures aren't going to be fantastic for hard tyres. But then the softs are going to be easily chewed up on this very flat track. Just how torquey these cars are. You can see a fair bit of tyre debris already around on the track. Dami leads over Corby by 3 seconds now. Corby ahead by Gallon by 2. Demon FX going to be sitting right on the tail of Gallon very shortly. It was almost a whole second quicker on that lap around. Gallon wearing a 1 second post-race time penalty. Demon doesn't even really have to actually make a pass. He can casually sit behind as long as he doesn't get held up and start getting some pressure from Philly. He could manage to be able to make a pass, get around, and then start closing that gap in on Corby, and he'll have that safety net with Gallon's post-race time penalty. Marky Mark a little bit loose coming from that corner, but managed to pull ahead still. Poor boy showing some massive lag issues. T-Rex and Doggy Daddy paddling out down the back. He's running the same number as car 28 and 29, I think, yes. Looks like Demon Effects and Doggy Daddy will probably need to make sure that they don't head into the pits at the same time. It's likely they'll be sharing a pit stop. It's quite possible several drivers will still be doing so despite having the same team liveries. Doggy Daddy makes a mistake on that corner, cuts through a little early. He did not spin that out. It could have gone a lot worse. Demon hunting down Gallon, showing some massive pace. On the roof. Oh, it looked like Gallon was going to go for a slip, but that was lag. Gallon really pulling away in sector 3. Demon seemed to be quicker in the first 2 sectors. Oh, and Simo's just gone for a spin. It looks like he's taken a hit to a tyre. Hopefully that hasn't caused any damage to his car. You can see coming through sector 1. Demon Effects much quicker. Just catch his ground up. However, Gallon pulls away through sector 3. I'm surprised Demon's running a full set of hard tyres. We're on lap 9 of 13. 4 laps to go. Right on the tail of Gallen. Gallen pulls away pretty quick, but he's going to slingshot out and around. Gallen's going to block it. I think there's some lap traffic coming up as well. That's actually Corby's car. I've actually started to catch up. As these two are battling it out. Gallen nearly had a pass done on him. Got a little bit slippery. Don't think it was a defensive move. He did slip out. We saw him slip there a few laps ago, which cost him the positions where he saw Sami and Corby take over the race lead. With only 3 laps remaining, Sami now leading by 7.5 seconds. Got some massive pace. Could we potentially see a clean sweep for the opening race of round 2 as well? Have a look to see what the fastest lap time is so far. Is a 1:16 for Sami. He keeps that as his quickest lap time. No one beats it. That'll be a clean sweep for the opening race of round 2. 3 consecutive clean sweeps from races will be outstanding. Can he do it again and have another sweep in the entire round? Do jump in the chat and let us know if you think Sami is on the job to be able to do that tonight. He's been on fire in these supercars. Demon still probing for some positions to get around Gallen. Gallen only a tenth quicker last lap. And Philly quietly closing in on these two while they're heavily focused on each other. He plays this very carefully. Loses some speed. He could definitely try and find an opening between the two, quite possibly on the final corner. He can get close enough while the two battle it out. He can sit back and pick an open line and absolutely go for it while the two are heavily occupied on each other. Corby seeming to drop off a little bit of pace. Last lap of 1:19.4, Gallen and Demon setting 0.1 and 0.3. Only a couple of attempts away from that time. Oh, Gallen makes a mistake. That's going to cost him. That could very well also incur a slowdown. Probably just going to take it on the chin if that is the case, though. At this point in the race, lap 12 of 13. Having 1 or 2 seconds here. They're going to probably lose that 1 position, maybe 2. Philly can close that gap in if that is the case. There is only wearing 1 second. Marky Mark's got 2. Ed Farmer is wearing 3 seconds. Yeah, that's right, Killer. It is a very vicious track to push on. Gallen really closing down in on Corby. Corby really dropping off some pace now. Wouldn't be surprised if Corby actually ran a full set of soft tyres and he's probably finding the cars starting to skate a little bit out on track. As he's really holding off the pace. Damn PS man. Moves aside as the blue flag shown. Does again for Philly. Perfect. That's great sportsmanship there, moving out of the way at perfect times. Not making it a dangerous situation to do so. It's the last lap. Championship leader Sami looking for a clean sweep. He's on the final lap. Oh, Gallen's just dropped a position. Magneri's going to lose another spot to Philly. DK's also closing in pretty quickly, and he's got that 1 second penalty. Goes out wide. DK doesn't need to fight to get around him here. He only just needs to sit on his tail. He does not need to risk a maneuver. There's the race complete. Sami crosses the line. Victory in the first race tonight. Bobby in position 2. Oh, Gallen's side by side with Philly. But it's not going to be enough. He's going to lose that position back. Gallen down into 6th position. Mick Cliff on approach for the final lap in 6th position. Sorry, 7th position. Gallen dropped down into 6th. Well done, Mick. Great race. Marky Mark in 8th. He's got some time second penalties. He's got about 15 seconds difference between the two. There's 45 seconds to complete the last lap. We should see all cars cross the line. T-Rex goes for a move, nearly for a photo finish with the head farmer. Post-race time penalties, moving the head farmer down a couple of positions. T-Rex crosses in 9th, Balaki in 10th, and the head farmer gets dropped to the 11th spot. Fullboy in 12th. He's also got some time penalties with Simo. He's going off track for that one to cross the line. Having a bit of fun to finish up that last lap. There we have Sami. It does look like he's made a clean sweep again. Let's scroll through. I don't think we can see all of them. No, we only see the first 10. So that's a 1:16.222. And that is the quickest time. The next quickest time is in the 1:17s. That's 1:17.265, and that was set by Corby. So Sami clean sweep in race 1 for round 2. So that's now 3 consecutive races that he's done that. So I wonder if he can do it for another one in the next session. So the rest of the grid we have on the standings on the podium is Corby in position 2, Demon Effects in position 3, followed by Philly, DK, Gallen, Mick, Marky Mark, T-Rex, Balaki, Head Farmer, Cool Boy, Simo Simsel, Doggy Daddy, Dan PS Man, and Steph. We'll be having about a 9-minute break as we get ready to head into session 2, and then we've got 23 laps around Ruapuna Park. And that's going to be some exciting racing with what we've seen just then in the sprint race. So do stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly with more V8 action. And welcome back for session 2 of the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship, round 2 at Ruapuna Park GP. We just see Sami take another clean sweep in the first race tonight, setting pole victory and bonus points for the fastest lap of the race. Will we see that redone in session 2 tonight? We've got 15 minutes of qualifying. And weather conditions are heavy cloud. Track length is 3.28 kilometers, 12 turns, and game session time is now 1 p.m. Track temp should increase marginally. Drivers mentioning the tyres were taking quite a thrashing out there. Gallen having some issues getting a car out of the pits. See just how tight these cars are caged in the pit boxes. Does make it hard for them to actually get it out. Don't forget, if you are just joining us for the stream, do hit that follow button. We appreciate all our growing support. Do let us know who you're here to cheer on. Who you think's going to take pole position? Saw some good battling between Gallen and Sami in the qualifying. Some very tight times between the two. Gallen's car showing a lot of damage, however that is just actual visual damage caused by lag as the car head out of the pit stall. Sami having a massive lead in that first race. Had Gallen and Billy both exceed track limits on this lap. It's invalidating a time. However, this is the outlap still. Billy's Gallen both done it again. Not sure if they're side by side. Should be fine for where they are. It's not going to invalidate their next lap. Looking to get some temp into those tyres. little bit of touch. Demon tapped that tail of Dan's car. They'll probably both pull over and bring it back into the pits. Unless, of course, Dan hasn't taken any damage to his car. No, he's bringing that in. Taking some damage. Another out lap for them before they get a time lap on the board. We've got 12 minutes to qualify and 25 points on the line. That's Philly Manili, his closest competitor to our championship leader, Sami. Really finishing strongly up in 4th position from the first race. And we had Philly Manili in both races last week qualify in 3rd position and then take 2nd place. They're very consistent. And we're seeing a fair bit of consistency with most of the drivers. It's really good to see. Don't forget, don't be shy, jump into the chat, say hello. And then don't forget there is a bunch of sound effects controls you can use to play over the stream. Do have some fun with that. It'll be recorded on the stream. That way you can applaud your favourite moments during the race. We're currently qualifying in 5th position. T-Rex set a 1:18.898 and burnout down pit lane, getting some temp into the back tyres. Gallen has pole position, a 1:16.331. Oh, there's a little bit of drama. I think that's cool, boy. Oh, he's just been flipped. That's been a big hit. Oh, and he's just taken some damage. Misjudged that, people. That's as I'm mentioning. He's going to have to wait for the car. Oh, no, it looks like lag playing a huge part in that as well. So turning that car early. Oh, Guns just lost it out on through turn 1 by the looks of that. Corby slides that tail through turn 1. Marky Mark's just gone off track. He's got a buckled bonnet. Not sure if that's just residual visual damage from previous lap or if he's taken wall contact. He has taken it in this current lap. Probably best to bring the car back into the pits, get back out on track again. Here comes Sami landing another 1:15. A bit of lag showing. Gallen get back into the 1:15s. We saw him set a 1:15 in the first qualifying session tonight. A little bit loose. Mick Cliff just in behind. We're currently qualifying in 9th position. They could just be playing conservative at the moment while you get some temp into those tyres. Demon Effects and DK setting 1:16.7s. A whole lot between them. Oh, Sami's just gone off and invalidated his lap time. on the final corner. You can see that car crab walk long towards the infield. There's 7.5 minutes remaining. We're halfway through qualifying. Game session time now is about 1:30 p.m. with heavy cloud conditions. Those track temperatures are going to be going up. Doggy Daddy's just gone off track. He's done it on the last corner. It's probably invalidated this lap as well. He's going to have to finish this lap up before another one will count. And struggling with the car at the moment. Both himself and Blarkey, Def and Coolboy, all a lot off pace from the first session. We saw about 7.2 seconds separating the 16 cars heading into the race. Blarkey loses in that corner. Dan almost following suit. A bit of object fixation there, seeing him almost follow that exact same path. Gallen and Sami was just in front of him. Sami may have actually ran off track. Sami having all sorts of issues with the car at the moment. Moves off track to let the traffic through. Trophy's definitely going to want to keep that car out on track. I think we're bringing it in for Scott Damages. There's not too many opportunities now to get out there, get the temp into those tyres. They're optimal for a real good lap. He's looking pretty good with setting a 115.6. The next time is 116.331. That's almost 0.7 ahead of Gallen's time. We did see Gallen get into the 115s. Not having as much luck in the second qualifying session. Lucky Mark showing some very good pace qualifying in 5th. Just out of him is Coolboy. Oh no, grid place penalty has just been applied to Dan. I think it actually may have DQ'd him. He's going to have to rejoin the session. There's only 4.5 minutes remaining. That's excessive speeding in the pits. We'll actually see a disqualification. We haven't seen come up on the screen that there's a disconnect. Hopefully he's aware he can still jump in with that game invite. That way he can make it back in time. So he still holds that pole position. The timed lap after him going off. Sent through a message to Dan. Hopefully he can get back in. It's going to be very tight if it is the case. Ooh. Yeah, Dan, it has come up on mine. Dan copped a 1 grid place penalty for a pit lane violation and then disqualified for a further pit lane violation. However, by the time, if he has exited out and rejoined back in on the session, it may mean he misses out on the start. That means any other reserves that could potentially jump in at this point will miss the race start. And Sami's just further cemented in his pole position time, setting a 1:15.611. That's now pushed out to 0.720 away from Gallen. Demon Effects very, very tight as well. Qualifying in third position, he's only 0.05, that is correct, 0.055 away from position 2. Self and Gallen very similarly paced. We did see that in race 1 tonight. Oh, Gallen goes off. This lap's not going to count for him. Looks like someone else has gone off as well. I'm not sure who that is. Was that Corby? Looked like a blue car. Maybe Balaki. No. And message back from Dan. Sped in pit lane after Balaki crossed over the track and took him out on the hot lap. That's unfortunate for him, and it's not going to be enough time to get back in. Balaki having some issues. Gallen still out on track. Can he get in with a 1:15? We just saw a little bit of a lag glitch. So that's Dan just jumping out. Gallen doing some burnouts. Mark looking to pull up and use what's left of his tyres as well. Head time will improve his lap time. He's got 1:18.145. No, brings in the bits. I don't know where Simo is at the moment. Crossing the line for a final lap. Ooh, big improvement. She was 13 seconds away from pole. Near halving that gap down to 7 seconds. That was a very good lap. You may have some fun trying to get that car airborne. It's destroying the front of that FG. There's not much left for that rear end. Mark's already gridded up, ready for the race. I'm not sure what he's going to do, if he's going to get some speed and try and crash, or he's going to find another group place. The driver's been having a fair bit of fun in these final laps. Well, Simo's car's just been belted up in the air. I think it's Balaki giving him a friendly hit. So Dan has rejoined back in, but I don't think it's going to see him make it to the grid start. Sami on track for the clean sweep, taking yet another pole position. Yeah, Dirty Monkey, I'm not sure if qualifying does affect their licenses when they do that, so it could be interesting. I think it does only do it to the race, so which is why we do have cooldown turned off, so that victory burnouts don't destroy their licenses. There we have Sami taking pole position. Galen 350 in second place. Bit of deja vu from race 1 tonight. Demon Effects in third, and the rest of the grid we have Philly, Corby, DK, T-Rex, McCliff, Marky Mark, Head Farmer, Simo Simsel, Coolboy, Doggy Daddy, Steph, Balaki, and then unfortunately a DQ from an incident with damn PS Man. I don't think we'll see him cross over onto the grid start as he didn't make it in. As the game only allows drivers to join in the last 3 minutes. And so poor Dan missing out on the start. Quite devastated. Just narrowly missing out with that happening on that back end. By the time he's quit out and rejoined the session, not within that 3-minute window time to make the start into the race session. Here we are, the game's sinking, ready to drop the lights green. The final race of round 2. Look at Sami pushing that car forward. Wheels spinning, he's trying to get that jump on Galen, but Galen smokes him from the start, pulls away. It's big wide packed down the rest of the field. They're about 3-4 wide coming down the turn 1. DK goes off, Mick Cliff's just been pushed off. He's gone way out. I'm not sure if that was contact. Doesn't look like he's taken any damage. I think he may have just actually run wide. Simo Sims's just gone for a spin as well. Re-enters just ahead of Balaki and Mick as they come flying around. Bit of chaos in lap 1. This is the big race's 26 laps. Side by side going through second sector. Galen and Sami battling it out. Philly sitting back, watching these two battle it out. For Philly to try and stay as close to the championship lead as he can. He needs to at least finish as close to Sami, or at least try and break Sami's streak. Demon loses it. I don't think there was any contact. A little bit slippery. Maybe putting that foot down a little bit early. I think it may have dropped the tyre off on the corner exit. And Mick's gone off as well on approach in the last corner. Coolboy dropped down into 15th position. I've still got that on race result. That would be handy to change the screen so we can see the screen a little bit better. Oh, a little bit of a nudge. Coolboy tapping Mick. And there's some lag showing between them. Oh, Philly darts out across. Not sure what was going on, whether he lost traction and tried to take back control of the car. He's definitely lost some momentum. Sami side by side with Gallon coming down to turn one, but I think he's going to have to yield. It's going to be very, very risky. He locks that back left, lightly runs wide. Gallon getting a better run. That's going to have him offline for the bend down the back straight. Sami's car lag, skips across. Gallon now under pressure from Philly. I mean, you can see the lag skipping going on with Gallon's car. Philly's going to have to very much pay attention as to how much. Ooh, a little bit slippery. He's carrying a lot of speed. He's got a good run here. So this happened with Gallon in the first race as well. And now side by side, a lot more speed. This is where Sami got Gallon last lap. Gallon really pulls away at the start of the race. Then a few laps in, the car starts to not really grip on that tail. Not quite sure what is it the setup that may be affecting it. But he may also be choosing not to race hard for position too early on. He could be very well strategizing for the mandatory pit requirement. There are 26 laps to do. And really pushing these cars is going to take its toll on the tyres. Drivers mentioning that one of their tyres well and truly scrubbed right down. And Mick starting to make his way back up after an unfortunate start and dramas in turn one. It'll be interesting to see what went on. Not sure if it was too much speed and running wide, or if it was squeezed out and there was some contact made. Larky and Coolboy battling it out yet again. Coolboy lag skipping a fair bit. Philly's gotten Gallon and still pushing. And Gallon's going to have Corby slowly catching up to him. 119.7 for Gallon last lap. Oh, Philly really got out of that corner a little bit slippery, lost a lot of pace. So that opportunity for Gallon to catch back up. Philly's last lap was at least 1.2 seconds quicker than Gallon. DK gets a little bit loose. That's going to have T-Rex sitting hot tight on his tail. He's also got Marky Mark too far behind. Then Demon Effects. These guys are all closing in on the race lead. Looks like Demon goes for an outside line to get around Mark on the final turn. But Mark carried enough mid-corner speed to hold him at bay. Not enough slipstream to be able to position nicely into turn one. Bobby and DK closing in very quickly. Look at those lines in the back there from Mark and Demon. They are pushing these Falcons to the limits. Nice pass on the hairpin by Demon. A little bit of a touch. As Demon had to do a little bit of late braking as he really dived into that hairpin. He had to really adjust that car so it didn't go into a spin on that exit. Next in his sights is T-Rex, who's gone off and spun. That's cost T-Rex a fair bit. DK still closing that gap in on Corby. Demon starting to pull away from Mark. Demon having a little bit more pace than DK. Last lap was 0.3 difference. It's almost 0.6 difference between the two now. Demon is going to be quickly closing that gap down on DK. Getting in the mirror of Gallant. Oh, there's a tyre out on the track. I don't think it may have been there on the stream. I think some damage may have been actually done from what I've seen on my director's screen. Looks like we've got a battle going down towards the back. Coolboy, Balaki and Steph looking to take a position. Oh, Coolboy's just gone for a spin, so Balaki's moved up into 11th position. Steph also gets through, but Coolboy moved back on track and rubbed doors with Steph. He's got that back on. That could have potentially been a very drastic situation. Very well could have been a possibility of a penalty. There was an incident at that. It was very lucky. It only affected himself. I think the lag definitely probably positioning his car very differently to what those around him are. Simo Sims's closing in behind him. He's going to have to be well aware of the lags that he's seeing. Going to make it very dangerous to make a pass. Gallen gets around Corby. Corby's made a mistake, losing a position, and that's now got DK sitting right on his tail. May have caved into the pressure from Gallen as Gallen was slowly starting to creep up. Just look how tight this pack still is. Oh, DK's run off wide. He's lost a position. Will he lose another one to Mark? Mark's carrying a huge amount of momentum coming down this middle straight. Too wide through the final turn. Mark carries a lot of speed. He's going to be offline on approach into turn 1. Are they going to race side by side? He's going to have to shave speed off to make the corner, otherwise he risks running wide. A little bit of slip. DK doesn't fight him for the position and gives that away. That's some fantastic racing we're seeing from these guys. And good majority of all the drivers actually quite despise driving this track just because it is rather difficult, especially in these cars. I think the last time we did actually drive it in a series was with the Janettas under default setups. That was a great track for those little cars. With these big beast V8s, it is a very difficult track to master. Look at our championship leader, Sami, absolutely flying out ahead. He's now got an 11-second lead. We're nearing the halfway point, 3 laps, and then we're halfway. It's likely we'll probably see drivers pitting around the halfway mark for majority. As those that are running soft tyres They're definitely going to be skating out there. We did see that towards the back end of the sprint race. Corby really struggling for the car. He was starting to drop off pace a fair bit. Not sure, I think it was the head farmer that's just made a mistake. Losing a position to Mick Cliff. He's moved up into P9. DK running in 7th position. For those that aren't aware of the project cars too, so the standings board up on the side there. Once we see a red number, that's when a driver has received a post-race time penalty. That's occurred by either speeding in pits or exceeding track limits and not abiding by race control to slow down. However, this track is quite brutal at actually giving the warning to slow down. You only got to drop a little bit of a tyre here on this back straight, right on this corner as you go out wide there, a little bit on that concrete, and it'll tell you to slow down. And you can actually shave off probably about nearly 80 kilometres for the next several corners, and it will still be telling you to slow down. So essentially you got to nearly bring the car up to a halt before it will actually wipe that away and not require you to yield anymore. And then they usually lose about 3 or 4 seconds in a lap time by doing that. So usually it's much better just to cop 1 second penalty, as especially over 26 laps it's unlikely to affect positions. However, in the sprint race we did see that midfield all get affected drastically from those post-race time penalties, as there's 3 or 4 drivers as they all cross the line swapping positions. We have seen victories taken by the way of those penalties. Demon FX first to head into the pits. That's good. Usually in our main races, usually some damage done, and seeing some drivers having to make multiple pit stops over the course of the race. But no fuel, so it's just a set of tyres for Demon. He's probably running a mixture of hard and soft, or did just start with soft tyres. Billy currently in 2nd position. He's looking pretty good. He's 15 seconds away from Sami, but finishing in 2nd position again won't be too bad. There's only round 2. There's 3 more rounds to go. It's going to make things very interesting next week at Long Beach. It is a very testing track. And it is very unforgiving. There are walls everywhere, and it makes it very difficult to try and pass. Playing aggressive moves can end badly all around, so you do really have to pick your opportunities. Going sitting tight behind Philly Manilli. Marky Mark also closing in very quickly. He's having a fantastic run in race 2. It's good to see after the dramas from the opening round. Having some bad luck with some very weird lag accidents. DK looking to battle out Corby again. Billy's in the pits. He's dropped down into 6th position. DK getting a great run down pit straight, closing that gap in on Corby. Slightly wide line through the hairpin. He seems to pull away a little bit quicker on that tighter line. Probably a little bit slower through this next sector. DK quickly closing in on his tail. Like he thought Corby was going to lose a lot of pace. He did say to that inside line for a potential passing opportunity. I think he very well could have him on this next lap. 2/10 quicker last time around. Gallen in the pits at the moment. Those clear conditions have come out. Track temperatures are going to start going up. So those drivers that are opting to finish out the remainder of the race on hard tyres is probably going to be a good strategy. I think Corby's really skating out there. Like we'll see Corby heading into the pits in the next couple of laps. Sami now leading by 20 seconds and he's heading in. I think he's really pushing the limits of those tyres. Doing 15 laps. He's got a very nice lead. Could he even be in and out? It's only a very short pit lane. Tyres are done. A little bit of fuel, potentially maybe a little bit of damage repair. Mark's entering in the pits now as well. Corby stays out on track, so he takes the lead. Sami's let loose. Probably going to come out about 9 seconds behind Corby. There it is, he's come out 11.8 seconds. That's Simo Simsel just up ahead. Blue flag will be shown for Simo. Sami in position 2, Corby still needing to pit. He's going to have to bring this car in this lap. That car is definitely not sticking. Those tyres are done for. Probably would have been beneficial to have pit in a couple of laps prior. Seems to be losing a lot of speed. Every lap out there at this point is going to seem run a lot slower and potentially risk a spin or worse and take some damage. In he comes. Himo letting Sami through now. That'll take him back into the lead of the race. We're meeting his pit crew now. Car goes up, swapping that rubber over. It's going to be a quick stop. Then moves up into position 2. Marky Mark in the pits. Corby's away. Green Cone and drops the pedal. Enters the race in 5th position. DK quickly closing in behind. The two out there on fresh rubber looking to do battle. Corby's going to probably have a lot better pace at this stage. compared to the last few laps that he's been doing. He's really struggling to keep that car under control. Sami just approaching Steph at this top point. Steph currently running in 13th. Brilliant blue flag manoeuvre by Steph. Not moving offline. Just easing up on that throttle on the corner exit, allowing him to get through nice and cleanly. Steph going into the pits now. Lasting out for 16 laps as well. Lap times definitely started to drop down in the last lap. It was a minute 29. We even started seeing Corby getting up into 120s, mid-20s. Those worn tyres definitely playing on those cars. That's Doggy Daddy just ahead of Demon Effects. Well done, Doggy Daddy, letting Demon through nicely through the bends. Not the easiest place to try and get around a back marker. Full courtesy and cooperation there from Doggy Daddy, allowing lapping cars to get through without hindering their lap time or causing risk of incident to either of them. And some fantastic respectful racing here. We did see a fantastic redress situation. Oh, I think that's Balaki that may have gone for the spin, or is that Corby? That's Corby that's gone for the spin. There was an incident caused by Simo and Doggy Daddy on the last corner at Watkins Glen on the last lap. And then it was a fantastic redress situation. It was only the minors of the taps that put Doggy into a spin into the wall, and Simo parked up and just waited for Doggy to recover and go past and take that position. And that is pure sportsmanship, and that's what racing is all about. Clean, competitive courtesy out on the track. Ooh, cool boy. A lot of lag. He's skipping every which way at the moment. That was Sami getting around. That could have spelt disaster for Sami. We've seen it before. A race lead absolutely destroyed by the way of some lag of a back marker. Demon up in position 2. Gallen sitting hot tight on Philly's tail. Philly seems to pull away a little bit quicker than Gallen down pit straight. Seem to about 260 is just slightly off. Philly a little bit more speed. That draft not quite helping him. Could very well be that there's slight variation in fuel levels between Philly and Gallen. We'll bring up the penalties. Gallen's currently wearing a 1 second post-race time penalty. He's gone for a spin as well. That's cost him. Gallen's only wearing 1 second, where Philly was wearing a 3 second time penalty, so he only had to really sit on his tail and then not let anyone else through, and he would actually get a spot on the podium. It's a fair way to try and catch up to the race lead. His main focus here should be taking that number 3 position. Oh, he's definitely well off now. Let's put him off his game slightly. All it takes is one little mistake and it can really make you lose your focus. Especially after 21 laps around Ruapuna Park. That's an exhausting race. These guys are going to be absolutely exhausted. Most of our field have a post-race time penalty. It is quite hefty. 10 seconds to Corby, so that's some speeding in pit lanes. That's cost him 4 seconds to Marky Mark, 5 to Simo Simsel. Otherwise, there's 3, 2, and 1 second penalties. And I almost just exited out of my game session, hitting the wrong button to bring the timing screen away. There's 5 laps remaining. Army on lap 22. Currently leading by 17 seconds. Army has been unstoppable in the V8s. Army can keep this run up. That will be a fantastic championship to win. The last few series have been very close in the wins, where only differences of 2 points in the championship. We haven't had very tight competition for quite some time. Usually had someone lead quite heftily. We've seen the caliber of driving from all drivers out on the track absolutely become phenomenal. Coolboy and Balaki were battling it out. Balaki's just ran off wide, but Coolboy's also turned around. Comes back out on track, still a little bit slippery. Oh, he's just going off. That's going to cost him. Chris taking some damage. Simo Simsel, that's Gallon that's just come up behind him as well, so he's going to have to try and get around. We're currently in 12th position. Probably dropped down into 8th, but quickly catching in on T-Rex. Yeah, dirty Team Madzmac 1 and 3. Last week we did actually have a Team Vazmac 1, 2, 3 and 4. Thought it was only the first 3, but it was actually the first 4. Army not picking to drive Wira's car this time. We're hoping to see Wira on track, but having some internet issues by the looks of things. He was dropping in and out as the invites were being sent out. And there's Steph lets our race leader through. He's only got 2 to go. Leads by 22 seconds. Demon's got 8 seconds over Philly, and there's also the 2-second time penalty. Sorry, 3-second time penalty to Philly, 1 second to Gallant. I think there's a heftier time penalty now. I do believe I've just seen a 12-second. So Corby's taken another 2 seconds whilst out on track, exceeding track limits. Probably having some difficulties at the moment. He gets up alongside T-Rex, fights him through turn 1, nicely passed. He had to shave off a lot of speed at that corner exit to be able to bring that car through. That's allowed T-Rex to tuck right in. Demo seems closing down on Balaki. That's Gallon just coming up to these two. While these two are battling it out, Gallon's going to have to try and get through. Billy haven't just got around. And they're side by side, fighting it out for the last corner. I think Simo's going to have him on the run through the corner exit. They're going to be side by side up along pit straight. They are absolutely not giving up. Who will yield for turn one? Oh, they rub together. This could push them out wide. They both save it and bring that car in. That's some door-to-door action through turn one. And they held it as well. That was intense racing. Does not get much closer than that. I could have seen both of them lock and actually run off track. Got Gallen who needs to try and get around these two. And they're having some massive pace. And can't afford to get caught up. Taking his time to get around. Balaki actually goes off track for him. Grant is back in. I think that'll be just ahead of DK. Gallen had got held up there. That could have allowed DK to close that gap in on him. Gallen with Simo Simzil to get around now. The longer he sits in there. Oh, Balaki's just gone off track to let DK through. And then thinking DK was clear, came back on track. A little shunt. I'm sure DK is knowing which way to go to get around. That could have been a very dangerous situation. Both getting very lucky in that circumstance. McCliff also trying to get around Balaki. McCliff's running in 6th position. And he is racing for position with Sami, and it's the final lap. So he's gotten around Balaki. Can he catch down? Oh, nearly takes out Simo. I think Simo and Balaki's just been hit. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And there's Sami pulling up to do a burnout across the finish line. Congratulations, Sami. Pretty sure that's probably a full clean sweep for round 2. Demon Effects gets on the podium in position 2. Well done. Billy's got 3-second time penalty. Gallen is out 4 seconds away and also has 1 second on himself, so that sees Philly take another podium. Gallen in 4th. I don't think DK is close enough to be able to steal position 4 away. Cliff in 6th position. T-Rex in 7th. Oh, the camera's struggling to keep up with everyone. Corby in 8th. Mark in 9th. Lucky running 10th. Demo having big dramas on that last lap. Head Farmer in 12th position coming on the final corner. – 18 seconds to finish up last laps. Congratulations to Head Farmer in 12th position. And then we have conclusion of round 2 of the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship. Sami taking another victory. And we'll scan through the list for the fastest lap times. And I think it's 1:16.2. I'm pretty sure it's very similar time in the first race tonight as well. Yes, so that is a full clean sweep. So he's on a streak. So that's 2 complete rounds with clean sweeps. So well done, Sami. That's a fantastic result. Can he keep it up heading into round 3 at Long Beach? That's going to be very interesting to see. So congratulations on Sami taking P1. Also on the podium is Demon Effects in position 2 and Philly Manili in P3. The rest of the grid is then Gallen, DK, Mick, T-Rex, Corby, Marky Mark, Balaki, Simo Simsel, Head Farmer, Steph, Coolboy, and Doggy Daddy. And unfortunately, the DQ suffered by Dan PS Man in the qualifying, not being able to get back in and start the race. Otherwise, we probably would have seen all drivers actually be able to finish out. It would have been a fantastic race. Hopefully a bit more luck for him next week. But we'll be inviting in our podium finishers, so we'll be having a chat to Sami, Demon and Philly in a moment. does take a moment to load them in. If you do have any questions or comments you want to make to the drivers, do throw that in. And off that goes, we'll see. Our podium finishes, Sami, Demon, Philly joining in a moment. We've got Philly joining in. Sami's made it through. We should see Demon in a second as well. And here's Demon. Congratulations, Sami. That's a clean sweep for round 2. You kept the momentum.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks, JT. Nice little run there in that one as well.
Yeah, it was very good.
Car was solid.
Yeah, there was a massive lead in the end. The car just seemed to be performing perfectly.
Yeah, wore the tyres out towards, I think, lap 13, 14. I was trying to squeeze a few more out of it just so I had good tyres towards the end, but I had to come in and get them. But yeah, in the end they lasted pretty well. So it was a good little battle with Gallon there at the start, and had Philly in behind me. So
yeah, I selected my pit strategy, but then I didn't know where the pits were, the entrance. I was like, oh, because I've never been on the track before.
It is, and it's hidden. It is hidden.
Yeah. I started freaking out because that girl chasing me. I'm like, oh, where's these pits at? Oh, there they are.
yeah, that was a good run. Congratulations, Philly and Damon too for podium.
Yeah, well done,
thanks, Sami.
Great race, Damon.
Mate. You too, Damon.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, it was a good race. Philly got me at the start, so I was back into 4th, but then I over-rotated on the last turn and went back to 9th. So then I worked my way back to 5th, but then pitted on lap 11 and undercut everyone. And
yeah, you got me.
Back out in 2nd. Yeah.
I
just popped in the good times.
Pretty sure I overtook him.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but I noticed the times were dropping off, so I thought I'll get in and try and pump in some quick times, and I came out in front, so it was all good.
Yeah, it was a fantastic drive all throughout. And then
Sami was on a different level.
We had Dirty Monkey cheering his on, and he's impressed with the 1-3 for Team Vazmac.
Yeah, big shout out to Dirty Monkey. He's out of the race for a few reasons, but a big shout out to him. And
it's a shame he wasn't here.
We're a boy.
And Wera, it's a shame Wera wasn't here as well. Wera was really quick in practice, when he was practicing with us all, so it would have been good to have him here, sort of.
Yeah. He helped me out heaps today with me.
That's what I was mentioning to all the viewers. We jumped on with you the other night. Just the lap times that you guys were putting out was phenomenal. And then, seeing it replicated in race conditions still with 16 cars, it would have been some great battles.
Yeah, I think racing, it was. I think all the lap times, all the best lap times are really close, and it was really good to see everyone running close together. So.
Majority of the field sitting in 1:17 for best laps.
Yeah, which was great. It's good to see.
Slowest of 1:21, so it's very good.
Thanks to all the back markers for moving over. A lot of them, all of them
really
were pretty.
Tonight.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great racing from all. Very courtesy, a lot of courtesy out there, so it's great to see.
Yep. Yeah.
Congratulations, guys, and look forward to seeing how it all goes with the many walls at Long Beach next week.
Yeah, not looking forward to that one.
Good on you, Sami. Good on you, Damon.
Yeah,
cheers, mate. Yeah, same to you guys, eh?
Take it easy, fellas.
Thanks for another great race night, JT.
No worries.
Cheers, mate.
There we have our podium finishes. Sami taking another victory, making that 2 rounds with a clean sweep. So that's going to be a great lead for the championship heading into round 3. And then, of course, Demon FX taking 2nd place on the podium and Philly in 3rd place. So still doing well for Philly to try and chase Sami down in championship points. There's still 3 rounds to go, and anything can happen once we get to Long Beach. And as I was mentioning, next week we do have Long Beach Street Circuit as the track. The first race will be in day conditions, and then the main race is under lights. So it's going to be a fantastic race to see. So do hit that follow button if you haven't done so already. We will be back racing on Monday night for iRacing with the Pagnian Imports Super 2 series. So if you're keen for some more V8 action, there is that. So do hit that follow button so you can be notified when we go live for that. Otherwise, we'll be back again for the V8 Supercar Championship on Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you trackside next time.